Hi everyone, I'm Gwen and welcome to At Home with Gigi. Thank you for being here today. Guys, I have 3 farmhouse DIYs that I'm going to share with you today, and they are centered around sunflowers. Y'all know of my love of sunflowers by now, but they are also just ideas and suggestions you can always substitute in your favorite flower or anything like that. Fall is coming up, so this is going to be my last sunflower DIY, most likely before I start my fall. Maybe. But y'all know how much I love sunflowers, so I might even just continue to tuck them in through my fall DIYs, but we'll see. But anyway, this is just some ideas that you can use. You can just always use a mum, use any type of flower that you can find this time of the year with going into fall, but I hope you'll stick around and see what I have in store for you. And if you like this video, please come on and give me a great big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, then what you waiting for? Go ahead and smash that subscribe button and become a part of my YouTube family. Now let's get started with these projects. For this project, we're going to be using these 2 placemats that came from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to make a little accent pillow. And I love to use placemats, and they're just so inexpensive and quick. And if you sew, you can, by all means, you can sew these, but I don't sew, so I'm just going to use my little Sure Bonder glue gun because it has that little detailing tip, which makes it so easy. And if I can find the right side that I want, I'm going to line it up and just press it down on that glue and just smooth out the glue so there's no little bumps and lumps. And if any of the glue oozes out like it did right there, just go ahead and wipe that off, because this type of material, it just wipes off really easy if you do it right away. Just a little hack or tip for an inexpensive way to stuff your pillows. You can use old pillows that you have from around the house that's seen better days. Or what I do, I buy the little cheap $2 or $3 pillows from Walmart. And one of those pillows will stuff many of these little placemat pillows. And it's just more value for your buck. If you want to add a little embellishment to your pillow, you can always make some little tassels and add them to the ends of your pillow, or a little pom-pom, something like that. But I like my pillow just the way it is. And I think it is just so adorable. It's just a perfect addition to go with the rest of my sunflower decorations this fall. For this project, we're going to use this bucket that came from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to give it a faux cement look. And I'm just going to start by giving it a pretty heavy coat of Waverly's white chalk paint. And as I'm brushing this on, I'm really just kind of pushing that paint into that basket weave. Then I just went back in with a baby wipe, and I'm wiping off all that excess paint because I want it to have more of a faded look. And I'm also just pushing that paint into that basket weave and just really rubbing it in. I'm going to use this paint from Apple Barrel. It's called Pavement, and I'm just using that same brush that I used with the white paint, and I'm just going in and just pouncing and stippling it all around my little planter. I'm going to use more of this pavement color, and I'm just mixing a little bit of the white chalk paint in with it, because I want to keep this fairly dark. I'm going to go around and pounce that around over my planter just to give it a little bit more of that concrete look. Then also I did go back after this and add a little more white to it just to tone down some of those really dark spots. I'm going to add the floral foam blocks that you get at the Dollar Tree to the bottom of my planter. Now if you're going to place this outside, I would probably add something heavy to the bottom to keep it from tipping over, but this is going to stay inside next to my fireplace, so I won't be adding any rocks or anything like that. And I am going to use some of this greenery that I had left over from the summer. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I bought way too much greenery this summer, and so I'm going to use it in this planter as some filler. And I'm also going to be adding these beautiful sunflowers that came from Walmart, and you get 6 blooms, very large blooms, for $3, and that is such a deal. If you don't have sunflowers, or sunflowers is not your thing, then this, as always with my projects, this is just an idea or a starting point. You just run with it, make it your own. You can always use mums or fall colored hydrangeas, anything like that, in place of the sunflowers.
If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be.
This greenery came from Walmart as well, and I cannot remember the name of it, but I just love the look of it and the texture, and I love just weaving it in around through my sunflowers. But it just was that extra little something that it needed. Just bear with me here a moment. I know it's looking a little crazy, but if you just spend a couple of extra minutes working with your arrangement, it is just so worth it. I just love this. I think it turned out so pretty. And you're going to have to let me know what you think about the planter. Did I achieve the faux concrete look?
If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be.
For this DIY, we're going to make this beautiful sunflower wreath using the sunflowers from Walmart, and the lamb's ear also came from Walmart, and the 18-inch grapevine wreath, that came from Michael's. And as always, when I'm using a grapevine wreath, I start by just trimming it down and cleaning up all around it just to give it a nice clean appearance. I'm just going to start by putting down my greenery first, because I want to have a nice lush bed of greenery before I start adding in my flowers. I was so excited when my Walmart finally got in more of the lamb's ear, and this that they've had recently is just great quality. I believe it's comparable to what you would get from Hobby Lobby. And for 2 stems for $2, I think it's a great deal. These cotton stems that I'm adding in came from the Dollar Tree, and they were actually much longer. They had like 4 of the little cotton pods on there, so I just cut them in half to make them work better for my wreath. This is where you could switch up your wreath just a little bit. If you did not want to use the cotton, this time of the year you could add in some of the beautiful little white pumpkins that they have, and that would be so pretty. And now I'm just going to add in some of these gorgeous sunflower blooms from Walmart, and I'm not going to hot glue them in because whenever I'm creating a wreath, I tend to move my flowers around just a little bit until I'm satisfied with where I have them, and then I go back and hot glue them in, and that's what I'm going to do with this wreath as well. And also, a lot of times if I know I'm going to reuse my wreath form, I don't hot glue everything in, but this I definitely want to keep because I'm going to use this from year to year. I just love it. And these little sunflower buds came from Walmart as well, and you get those one stem, or it comes 2 buds on one stem for $2. And I thought those were so pretty, although I did pull the leaves off because they were kind of cheap looking. If you don't have sunflowers on hand, you can always use whatever fall flower that you might have already. And this is just ideas or what I am using. It's not something that you have to necessarily go out and buy to recreate this. Just use what you have on hand. For the sign that we're going to add to our wreath, I'm going to use this one that came from the Dollar Tree, and I just removed the green backing that's in there, and I'm just going to give it 2 quick coats of Waverly chalk paint in white, and I'm just going to let that dry completely before I move on to the next step. Now I'm just going to go in with my ruler and pencil and just draw in the lines for my faux shiplap look. If you don't want to do this, you can always use scrapbook paper that you can get from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. It'll give you the same effect. Then I'm just going to use my finger and just go in and just smudge those lines and just give it a little bit of a more distressed look. I'm just going to use hot glue to reattach the back to my sign, but if you want a more secure hold, you could use E6000, or I use Gorilla gel glue as well. Remember at the beginning I said I was going to add a bow and a sign to this? Well, I just did not care for how the bow looked with the sign, so I changed my mind on the bow, and guys, I made a boo-boo. While I was waiting for my big hot glue gun to heat up, I turned off my camera and I forgot to turn it back on whenever I hot glued my sign to the wreath, but I apologize for that. But I'm just going to add in another piece of the lamb's ear and another sunflower where I had originally intended to put the bow, and I have to tell you, I really like the way it looks without the bow. And this is just so pretty. I love how this looks hanging on the front door, but I have to be honest, I am not going to leave it outside in the elements because of the lamb's ear and the cotton. I just don't think it would hold up very well. But this will definitely be displayed in my home throughout fall because I am just in love with this. Thank you so very much for being here today, and for everyone that's been with me since the beginning of my YouTube channel, thank you very much. To my new subscribers, a great big welcome to you, and if you're just dropping by because YouTube suggested my channel to you, welcome, and I hope that you'll stick around and subscribe to my channel. And guys, I will see you next time.